Bucharest's political establishment is just showing its true color in a spectacular fashion. Călin Georgescu, who clinched the victory in the first round of the presidential elections, is being denied his democratic right. He has been blocked from the second round win over convenient claims of Russian interference. The Romanian streets right now are boiling with rage as citizens continue to express their mounting frustration with the EU and NATO influence. The latest wave of protest saw Alliance for the Unification of Romanian, the party also known as AUR, supporters flooding Bucharest demanding justice for this stolen election. The AUR leader George Simeon didn't mince words on Facebook this Saturday. We continue to protest because the usurper president and the traitorous government refuse to listen to the people. They have not given us any answer. They have not taken any measure. What is the catalyst behind all this? For that, you need to know what exactly happened. Well, Călin Georgescu, an independent candidate labeled far-right and pro-Russian by his opponents, shocked the establishment by winning the first round of the Romanian elections on 24th of November. The system's response was pretty swift on his victory. Romania's constitutional court simply annulled the first round and ordered a complete rerun, effectively blocking the scheduled runoff. Recently, nearly 1,000 demonstrators turned Bucharest into a symphony of protest, with placards in their hand and drums beating, and Romanian flags waving in defiance. Their chants echoed through the streets. Down with the government, we want the second round back, and we don't want to be led by thieves. Their banners told the story just as clearly: democracy, down with censorship, and down with dictatorship. This follows even a larger demonstration just a week earlier, where over 100,000 Romanians gathered to support Georgescu's victory. The message was clear. Romanians were fighting back against what they see as a blatant election interference, and their patience with both the EU and NATO oversight is wearing dangerously thin. This all started as Romania's Supreme Court initially laughed off these interference allegations, but suddenly had a change of heart under mysterious external pressure. Who pressured the Supreme Court, no one knows, but the result was pretty clear. A complete election cancellation even as the second round of voting was already underway. Thousands of diaspora voters were left high and dry. The Western media, EU leaders and even Brussels maintained a conspicuous silence, or even engaged in systematic character assassination of Georgescu. It was notably an American podcaster who provided the first substantial platform for Georgescu to articulate his position without prejudice. But as of now, Georgescu is out of the race due to his ties to Russia. But is this a fact? Well, absolutely not. Georgescu's primarily political transgression appears to be his unwavering commitment to the Romanian national interest. He has categorically dismissed the allegation of being pro-Russian, instead emphasizing his pro-Romanian stance, a position that evidently unsettled his established political orders. His systematic critique of NATO's transformation from a defensive alliance into what he characterizes as an offensive military bloc, coupled with the questioning of Romania's involvement in the Ukraine war, particularly agitated the political establishment both domestically and internationally. Oh, and not to forget, there are hundreds of farmers, Romanian farmers, who support Călin Georgescu because of his criticism of Volodymyr Zelensky on the dredging of Danube River. In his political philosophy, Georgescu aligns with the European leaders like Hungary's Viktor Orban, who have consistently challenged the prevailing global narratives. His perspective of the NATO membership is rooted in pragmatic nationalism, asserting that sovereign nations must retain the right to re-evaluate their international alignments based on the contemporary national interest, rather than some national historic commitment or some external pressures. The institutional response to Georgescu's rising popularity has exposed the fundamental contradiction within the self-proclaimed liberal democracies when confronted with genuine opposition. Utilizing a constitutional provision as a legal instrument, the court's decision to nullify the result and independently postpone the new election sends an ambiguous message to the nationalist leaders under external influence. The deviation from the approved political narratives carries severe consequences. The Georgescu's electoral crisis transcends mere Romanian domestic politics. It serves as a comprehensive demonstration of how established political systems respond to the figures who prioritize national sovereignty over international obligations. This episode starkly illustrates that democratic processes are tolerated only insofar as they produce outcomes acceptable to the prevailing and the already existing global power chambers.